Hey, Blue Collar Channel. It's Donovan. It's a Friday, and I have spent all day working here in my automotive inspection shack, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to bring this morning when I got to work, and I began to feel very intentional about not choosing any real specific direction, and that became the direction. But as the day progressed, it has become increasingly difficult to even find my way to bringing anything of value. Have you ever felt like that before? Have you ever felt like you've decided to just be unassuming, authentic, and come with no agenda, but you still wanted to bring something of value, and you found yourself challenged to bring something of value, especially in that place of intentionality of not wanting to be overtly controlled by an agenda. And then the day seemingly takes on an agenda of its own, which then competes with your one primary agenda, which is to bring a good gift with no agenda. It's kind of ironic, and that's a lot of our days, right? Like, that's a lot of what today has been for me, but it's a lot of our days in general. Now, the good news is there's been lots of productivity. I've actually done a lot of work today, which is good because it's my job. So I figured one thing I wanted to do, instead of necessarily bringing a worship song per se, was to, sorry, I'm shaking, my hand's got a watch, it's a little loose, so I keep shaking it to try to keep the watch face in the right place. But just to talk a little bit about mission, about goals, about calling, about what this channel is for, about why I'm here, about what I'm called to do and be. Maybe help you understand that a little bit more. If you came for some music, that's okay too. I'll play while I talk, and then maybe I'll shut up and just play. So one thing I wanted to share about this channel and the purpose of my mission in doing this channel, but also my mission in general, is so let me talk about the name Blue Collar Worship. I think of it more as a metaphor for bringing things down out of the rafters and bringing them down into the commonplace and the ordinary and the everyday. I don't have the formal definition for blue collar work in comparison to what you would call white collar work, but I know that a lot of blue collar work is referred to as unskilled labor, and I take a little bit of an issue with that, because if you look at work in blue collar professions, there actually is a lot of skill involved in bringing forth those basic goods and services that may be considered in blue collar work. Whether it's some sort of vocational production line in a factory type of environment, or something more specific in a service industry like plumbing or HVAC or electrical or construction. There's so many skill sets that are involved in executing that. And while the work that I do as an automotive inspector probably falls very low on the totem pole of specialized skills, there's a certain skill set required that's a combination of communication, salesmanship, savvy with vehicle makeup, makes, models, types, and so yeah, while what I do falls fairly low on the totem pole of skill sets in blue collar work, it's a blue collar job. And when I think about blue collar worship, which really came forth through us doing worship in this actual shack, in this actual blue collar location, is just, I texted someone and said, blue collar worship, or the blue collar sessions, live worship, the blue collar sessions. And it just became a sort of a title and a meditation of its own. But what I'm playing here is very basic chords, very basic chord progressions, and people who have studied years and years classical technique might be led to look down upon what worship artists do as a profession, executionally speaking. But you know what? There's a lot of skill that goes into preparing oneself for a loving encounter in worship with the living God. And it doesn't require fancy lights. It doesn't require fancy technology or equipment. And it can be done with a relatively low set of skills. But it still brings glory to the heart of God. It still brings glory to the heart of the Lord. He delights in so much that his children do, to give him glory. So whether you're planting, tilling the soil, dropping the seeds, letting the seasons come and go and give the harvest, you are there to bring glory to the Lord, to plow the fields, to plant the seeds, to bring forth the harvest. Your worship might be evangelistic in nature, prophetic in nature, simply loving on the Lord in nature. You might be there to offer the word of healing comfort, or you might be preparing the way of the risen Lord. You might be getting a revelation on a 3-chord progression, or maybe just a 2-chord progression. Fanciness is not the goal. Intellectual savvy is not the goal. Encounter with the Lord is the goal. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. Whether 1 chord or 2 chord or 3 chord, a 3-fold chord is not quickly broken. I'm just checking to see if I've got a customer rolling in. Sometimes people come in kind of slow, and I see them. If you see my eyes darting, sometimes I'm just checking to see if my bell is going to ring. But maybe not. What does the day hold? What do you want from me, Lord? What do you want to say today? was laced with the idea that I would be able to share with you some of my original composed music, my songs, written songs, and that is going to happen. But part of the idea of what's going on here is that the Lord's calling for me from the very early beginnings. I can tell some stories and give some examples, but from the very early beginnings was more so to be a support in the kingdom, to be a part of the support system, to promote and encourage and empower those creatively inspired to do works of worship, to do works of creativity, to promote those works. And so, who knows? I may do more songs by other artists while I'm here on this channel than I do my own. And if my own works come through, that's fine. But it's, Lord, what are you saying? What are you saying now? What are you saying today? What do you want to do today? That's more important. That's more important than what I want to accomplish, if that makes sense. That's more important than what I want to accomplish for myself, the agenda of self-promotion. But Lord, if you want to promote me, I'm asking for a yes. I'm asking for you to do it. And I will share music with you from my own creative partnership with the Lord. I hope that's even, what some of this is. Just doing what the Lord has me to do, that He'll bless it. Well, I'm almost 18 minutes in here. I hope that something that you've seen here was of value. I'll just go ahead and leave it where it is here today. Again, if this is of value, I'll provide ways that you can support me so that I can keep doing this. I really want to kind of crack the code on audio and different things so that it's more beneficial, but I don't want it to get too high tech. All right, 18 minutes, over and out. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Bless the Lord, oh your soul. Have a great day.